Hello Flosstube, Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here with my Flosstube update number 378. Today is Saturday, March 22nd. Yeah, 22nd. I can't read my own handwriting. 2025, and I guess spring has officially started. I don't know what the first day of spring. Was it yesterday? The 21st? I don't know. Let me see if it's in my calendar. It says something about the first day of spring. Didn't say. I don't know. I think it was yesterday, the 21st. I don't know. Anyway, it's spring. We've had, as Phoenix is wont to do, it kind of, it gets cold, but not like, winter in wintry places when there's no snow here in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area. I think up north there is snow in the higher elevations and stuff, but not so much here. But it does get like down into the 40s and 50s at night. But it, it's getting up into the upper 70s and 80s during the day, in the like afternoon, midday, whatever. So it's kind of, crazy weather, but like, yeah, so we were out during the day yesterday, and it was fine. It was warm, it was nice, it was great. But at night, yeah, I get, it gets pretty chilly still. So, hey, we're in that limbo area, but it is officially spring. And actually, oddly enough, I find myself stitching mostly winter stuff. Been doing my WIPGO things, and it just so happens that a lot of what I'm stitching is wintry. But I did get part of my Nashville orders. I had ordered some things at the attic in person a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, so before Nashville sometime. My sister, I think I must have mentioned it at some point. My sister and I had gone up to the attic and just placed some orders, there in person. So we were waiting for those to come in, and then I had ordered some things from Keepsakes, kind of at the last minute, because I knew they had a deadline, like close of business on the 4th or something like that. So so I had submitted an order at the last minute, and then I actually called and had an additional item on that order. But so Monday, I believe, this past Monday, I had gotten an email saying that the order had shipped out. So now we're just waiting for it to come in the mail. And I got very jealous. Stephanie posted a picture of somebody had forwarded to her that they had received their Nashville order, and so it was showing the things they had ordered, and I was like, oh man, and so we were kind of waiting, hoping that it would come today. The mail came earlier this morning, and Eve went to go check on it, and but it sadly not come. All we got was regular mail. And so we're still waiting for that aspect of it. But I did get some of the stuff from that I ordered from the attic. I did have a bit of a scare with my credit card. I have, my debit card from my bank, and then an actual credit card. And I was planning on putting my Nashville purchases from the attic on the credit card. I used the credit card when I ordered from Keepsakes, or at the beginning of the month, of course, around the 4th, 5th, whatever. But then, so I was planning on putting the attic purchases on the credit card. And so when we went to the bank, went to the attic yesterday, because they had, I had called and they had told us that our stuff had come in or whatever. So we went to go buy that, and I gave them my credit card, and the lady said, your credit card declined. And I'm like, no. And what had happened is a few days before I had gotten an email saying, is this, did you make this purchase? And I said, no. It was a fraudulent charge for like $84. And I said, no, that was not me. And so I sort of misunderstood some of the whatever on the email, and it was basically saying, we're going to put a hold on your card, send you a new card, yada yada. So I had to call and and answer a few questions about about this fraudulent charge. Is this a legitimate charge or not? And it turns out there were like 3 charges on my card on that one from DoorDash was on the 20th maybe, but it was like for $84. And then on the 21st, yesterday, there was a charge for Uber Eats and a charge for some other food place. The Uber Eats one was 30 something and the other food place was like 100 and something. And I'm like, no. I had used the card, like I said, at the beginning of the month for the keepsakes order. And for one other thing, I had used it on Venmo, which I'm kind of a little suspicious of sometimes of those kind of charges. But I had put it on Venmo because I used it to purchase some bassoon reeds from a colleague of a person that my sister knows, but that was like last week sometime, and then I had not touched the card at all, anticipating that I would use it for the Nashville purchases, and so I'm getting a new card. But so fortunately I was able to say, to dispute those charges, say these are not my charges, and so fortunately I'm not liable for any of that. But it was very scary. Anyway, so I have a few things to show you. I had talked about last week about Peppermint Parrot. The one of my new starts from was designed by Jeannine McGowan of the Blue Flower. It was from the Jingle Ball Baubles ornament book. So this Peppermint Parrot, and she said that again the design was inspired by the beautiful colors of the rosy-faced lovebird. So I suspected I would probably finish it over the weekend, and I actually finished it, I think, on Monday. So this is what I did. And like I said, I think I talked about last week that I had added these little, white stitches for glints on those berries. And I just went according to the picture because it's not on the actual chart. On the chart, it's just the red of the berries, without those little white glints on there to make them, shiny or whatever. But then I also used, instead of the pattern calls for petite treasure braid for the little perch, and I used étoile, the C725, the gold colored étoile for the perch. There's a little bit of shine to it. There's not a whole lot necessarily. You can't really see it here, but in person you can see there's a little bit of sparkle in the thread. But so it's finished. So actually, of the 4 things I did for WIPGO, the 2 WIPGO ongoing whips, basically, and 2 new starts, I finished all but the Woodpecker, which was my number 9 WIPGO chart. I had hit that goal. The goal for the Woodpecker was 7 days, and I hit that. And then I had finished The Up on the Rooftop Stockings reindeer pattern. I showed that last week. I had started it and finished it, and I had counted it as a WIP because it's part of a series of the 3 that were also from the Jingle Ball. It was a class that Lindy Stitches had set up, and so I did one of the stockings for the class, and so this one was the next in that series. So I finished it and last week, and then the Jingle Ball Bobbles the Parrot was the other one, and the other new start was the Festive Fruit Bat, which was also by Jeannine McGowan of the Blue Flower, and I had finished that last week. So the only one I had left was the Woodpecker. So when I finished the Parrot on Monday, I believe, I thought, I have time to go back and work some more on the Woodpecker. So last time I think I had done most of the white, and but I think I had maybe I had just started on the lighter gray. There's this darker gray and this lighter gray, and then the white, and then there's the black coal. The darker gray is pelican gray, and the black is coal, both Weeks Dyeworks colors, and the rest are DMC. And so last week I had done this little cabin, and the bottom of this tree here, and the trunk and branches of the tree. I had not done the leaves of the top of the tree yet. But I went back and worked some more on the woodpecker and the body of the woodpecker itself. So I have finished all the white, all the gray, all the light gray, and right now I'm just working on the black. So I added his little feet here, and I hadn't really looked closely, but I'm like, why are they white? What is this little thing? And this is actually his other foot. It's the claws of his talons on his other foot, and I didn't really see that until I actually started, stitching more of the black and this other talon. So now all that's left is the black to finish up this. There's some more on the tail here, and I mean on this wing, and the rest of his body and into his tail here, and the woodpecker we finished, the woodpecker himself. What's left now is all the leaves and trees and stuff that are all the rest of this picture here. So I may work on that some more in the next week. So March is really not, there's a whole another week of March left. And then Saturday is the 29th. Yeah, because Friday is the 28th, Saturday's the 29th, and let's see. Yeah, the 31st is Monday is the last day. So, I have whole another week. So I may do some more on this, but I'm also thinking I have the February stitching, the Saint Nick and the what is it called? Snow Angel, the Twin Peak Primitives patterns that were part of my February stitching. So the Snow Angel and the Quirky Christmas Saint Nicholas were both by Twin Peak Primitives, and I had done a substantial amount on them. I didn't stitch anymore on Nicholas, but he's very close to being finished, I think. And so is this Snow Angel. So I'm working right now on just doing the white of the body here, and I have the word hope, and then these little isolated snowflake kind of things. So far I've done these two, And so I have the one here and these two to go still. But right now I'm just working on the sort of ongoing white stitching. So this is what I've got so far. So I added in just today, as a matter of fact, these two, this one little snowflake here. I think I've done this one already. And then I just I've been, stitching some more of the body. You really can't tell the difference between, because I just added, I think I was on that row right below the button. And so I just did, a row and a half on this little snow angel. So I either finished this, finished finished Nicholas. It's not called Saint, it's just called Nicholas. So between those three patterns, this one, Nicholas, and the Woodpecker, I've plenty to occupy myself between now and the end of March. But I think about everything I'm stitching on right now, everything I've done recently, the fruit bat, the parrot, snow angel, and Nicholas. Those are all Christmassy, wintry patterns. And then the Woodpecker is kind of a fall thing. It's actually number 9 in that series of 12. And so it's, September-ish, right? The monthly things, right? And so that kind of puts it fall-ish. And so everything is all fall and winter, right? So I don't know yet, of course, what the new numbers for April will be. So I'm hoping that maybe there'll be something springish. There's nothing that's preventing me from stitching anything spring, that I might want. But yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see what the WIPGO numbers will be. That maybe, hopefully, I'll be stitching on something springish as the season rolls along. I was just looking at my pen. I just broke a little piece off my pen here. I was taking my pen out, getting ready to start, and something went flying off, and then I'm like, what was that? And I thought maybe it was just some, crumb of something in my bag of stitching things. And I went and fished it out from the floor, and it was a little piece of plastic that broke off of my pen casing. These are some of my favorite pens. These are Uniball Signo, and they're like basically black ink, but see this little shade of green here. So the ink has a greenish cast. You really can't tell. It looks black, but there's a little greenish to it. And there's this green color, there's a blue one, and there's a maroon one. And like I said, they're basically black ink, but they have just a little shade of color into them. I just love them. Just FYI. But so that is all my stitching until the new numbers for WIPGO come out, which will be just in a few days, because today's the 22nd and the 25th is when the new numbers come out. So I'm anxiously awaiting that. And in the meantime, I'm also waiting for my keepsakes order from Nashville, but I do have almost all of my Nashville order that I placed with the attic. So one of the things I bought was the Night Garden thread pack. The Night Garden is I don't know what you would call it, the designer challenge, I guess you could say. For those designers who wanted to participate, they were given this color palette, these 4 colors from Treadworx. So let me see if I can tell you the names here of the colors. Yeah, this just has the number on them, but they're Parrot Bay, which is this green one here. And then coffee and cream, which is, I think, this one here. Merlot, which is this one here, a purpley one. And then Concord Grape, which is this blue one, I think. That's what it, according to the numbers, that's what they are. So the designers who participated in this came up with a design using just these 4 colors. And so there's a few different things. And one of them I ordered, 1 or 2 I ordered from in my keepsakes order. And so those haven't come yet. Jeannine McGowan of the Blue Flower designed one called Iris, and so it uses those 4 colors, but she did a freebie, so there's not a printout of the actual finished, what it would look like finished. There's just the chart, the free chart. So this is the Iris Market 2025 free design with the Treadworx colors. Yeah, featuring Treadworx Night Garden thread collection. I didn't realize how out of I thought it was just me holding that, but this is the printout that I got with that, and the words at the top, Iris featuring Treadworx, all that stuff is like doubled. It's out of focus. The pattern itself looks fine. I just realized that header thing is like really out of focus. So anyway, so I did get then from TinyModernist this one, Mouse's Snow Day. It's her little mouse series. She's got about maybe 10 of these, something like that, several of these, and I've done 3 of them so far. Mouse's Christmas decorating, Mouse's lucky day, and Mouse's beach outing. And this is Mouse's snow day. Ouch. So there's a Canada goose. There's some flowers here. There's a little house and a tree. And I don't know if you can see, the mouse is ice skating. She's ice skating here. So her little skates on there. And she's got a scarf around her neck. And there's some snowflakes and things. So that's Mouse's Snow Day. This is by TinyModernist, and it uses Treadworx threads. There's a DMC and Anchor threads equivalent, but it uses Treadworx threads. Yeah, so that's one. And then I also ordered Bunny House. This is by Emily Call Stitching. And this uses a combination of Classic Colorworks, Weeks, and DMC. But it's a little bunny in the carrot house. Yeah. Bunny's house. It's very cute. I thought that was really cute. Over that. And then this is one of the big hits with another blue flower design, Pigeon and Puddle. Oh, sorry about the glare there. There's a pigeon wearing little rubber boots, rain boots, looking at himself in the puddle. Excuse me. Sorry. Trying to get rid of that glare. There we go. Pigeon and Puddle by the Blue Flower. Very cute. And this is a combination of DMC and Cottage Garden threads. I have another thing that she designed for Jingle Ball last year that we affectionately referred to as the Muffin. She had a finishing class for it. And it's basically kind of, I think I talked about this before, it's like a biscornu in that it's a three-dimensional design, and you have the basic sort of rectangular sections, and then with a little peak on the top, and you put when you finish stitching it, there's I guess you have to make a base for it, but it's basically round, and then the points of those of each rectangle, the points come together and make the shape. And anyway, so but that design calls for some cottage garden threads, and at the time I did it, I couldn't find the cottage garden threads. There are two of the I think there were just 3 colors of cottage garden threads, and the rest were like DMC and something else, I think. But so I was only able to find the other colors were out of stock or something. But I noticed that at the attic they had a few of the cottage garden threads, but they didn't have any of the colors that I needed at the time. So I'm going to see again. I did find a source for them, so I may look for more of these. These are all colors, you know, I don't know. So, but I'm eager to look into that. And then the other thing I ordered was a float by Twin Peak Primitives, and it's a whale that is actually a ship kind of at the same time, because there's the whale, and then out of the whale's back are the masts of the ship. So it's a very cute design. So that one has not come in yet. They had to order that from the distributor, and so it'll be probably maybe another week or something like that. So hopefully by next week I can show you that pattern. We'll see if it comes in. But anyway, so yeah, that's part of my order for Nashville. I was trying to be, you know, very frugal, and I'm just going to order these things, and then I thought, but I want these other things that I ordered from Keepsake. So I think I had 3 or 4 patterns. Actually, I can see right here what they are. Because I made myself a note. Yeah, so a float is the only one I'm missing from, that I'm waiting from the attic. And then, from Keepsakes, I ordered some stuff for Eve. Eve wanted to place an order with them. But then I ordered Night Owl, which is part of the, what do you call it, Night Garden series, and that was by Stitchy Pros. Forget-Me-Nots by Ink Circles, My Cat Helper by TinyModernist, and There's a Hare in My Garden by Hands On Design. And that's it's one of their berries, but it's a big berry. Yeah, so, and maybe it was Forget-Me-Nots that I had added to the order. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, but so those things, like I said, I'm still waiting for my order from Keepsakes to come in. So anyway, I think that is probably everything I have. I was thinking some time ago that I would do the virtual start-a-thon thing that Lindy Stitches is doing at the end of this month, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any of that at this point. And I hadn't really decided on what I wanted to start for that, so I might not do that after all. I might start something in solidarity, even though if I don't participate in the virtual thing. It just depends on what's going on. I don't know what's going on that weekend, whatever. I know that like Saturday night, the whatever that date is, the 29th, I have a symphony concert I'm going to, and so I don't know. I haven't looked at the actual date of the Startathon thing. But anyway, so like I said, I'm probably not going to do that. I had been thinking that I would, but I think I'm not going to after all. Anyway, but I'm got my fingers crossed for that keepsakes order, because yeah. Did I need to order anything from Nashville? No, I didn't. It was very self-indulgent. But, hey, I'm especially, it's kind of crazy making, because I have so many patterns that I haven't started, as they say, sable, right? Stitching, acquired beyond life expectancy or whatever. And so I already have a ton of patterns, and I had no business really buying more, but you know how it goes. And, because I thought, well, all this stuff from Nashville, it's all going to be available sooner or later. It's going to be in the stores or whatever. You can, and I'm sure there are things that, I'd like to, actually one pattern that I'd like to pick up, and I can't remember what the name of it is exactly, but it's a turtle with a little bouquet of daisies that I kind of want. There's a guy I follow on Facebook. His name is like Steve Garrigue, I want to say, but his channel is Wolfgang. Wolfgang something or other. It's got some numbers, but his he has he adopts senior dogs. He has about, I want to say 8, maybe. He has had 9 dogs, and he has a pig, and he had a turkey. He's got some other animals, chickens and things like that. He used to live in Colorado, and now he just recently moved to Ohio, and he lives in a big old, Victorian mansion kind of thing. He's renovating it, in the process of renovating it, but he's got, this menagerie of animals, and he recently lost a few of the older dogs, because they're senior dogs. They don't, they don't have many years left, and they have some of them have health issues and stuff like that. But anyway, he just acquired a new dog, a new senior dog, that he renamed Turtle. And the minute I saw that, I thought about that turtle design, and yeah. So I'd seen it, and I'd kind of been on the fence about it, but when I saw that he had this dog named Turtle, I was very touched by that. So I may or may not get that pattern at some point. But yeah. So, the other day I watched Lindy Stitch's Flosstube that she was talking about, some of her personal stitching and things like that. She wasn't talking about the Nashville stuff. That she said she was going to do a video later with her husband about, what were the bestsellers at Nashville and things like that. But anyway, one of the things she was talking about was she had been watching, I want to say, I can't remember where it is. Maybe in Colorado, I'm not sure. But there's an eagle nest cam thing that she had been watching with these eagles that the viewers had named Jackie and Shadow were the two adult eagles, and they they've had various chicks over the years, and this season they had three chicks, had three hatchlings, and one of them had sadly died. I don't know if it got blown off the nest or whatever, but she was talking about how, you know, they have very heavy snowstorms and things like that, and the eagles are there, like, you know, basically covered in snow but protecting the nest, you know. And now she was talking about, you know, having about watching those you know, the goings on with the nest cam. And when I lived in Little Rock, when I was working full time, one of the things I did, I don't remember how I got started on the nest cam for the Decorah eagles, the Decorah, Iowa, I think it is. They had a nest cam there. The Raptor Resource Project has these, you know, cameras on the nests there, and in Decorah there are two nests there actually. There's the Decorah North, which are a pair of eagles in a separate nest, and then the traditional ongoing nest area in Decorah. I think it's actually a new nest for the main Decorah eagles. It's a long story anyway. But so the original Decorah couple were there for years, and I think the father, something happened to him, and so that eagle has the female eagle has mated again with another new father eagle. But then there's also the Decorah North couple of eagles. But so they all, you know, raise babies. And the nice thing about Decorah is the nests are on like a sort of a farm area, and across the highway from that farm area is a fish hatchery. And so the eagles have a sort of a pretty abundant food supply there, as well as whatever, you know, eagles eat a lot of, you know, eat roadkill and things like that. So, you know, but anyway, so I was, you know, really watching that with a lot of interest. And also there was a nest cam in something like, I don't know if it was Missouri, Minnesota, something or other. But on this particular nest cam, the mother and father eagle had two hatchlings, and one of them sadly fell from the nest and died, and the other one was there in the nest bowl, and viewers were watching it, and they were kind of concerned because the baby didn't seem to be moving. The parents were still feeding it, but it didn't seem to be moving around in the nest bowl. And so the raptor research people were, you know, keeping an eye on it, and it looked like he was stuck on one of the twigs in the nest. And so they made the decision to rescue him. And they kind of try not to do anything like that, because try not to intervene or anything, because the eagles are a protected species, and they're not really supposed to mess with them, you know. And so they were kind of, you know, generally the idea is to let nature run its course, whatever. But in this case, because, you know, they made the decision to rescue this baby eagle. And I say baby eagle, the little eagle chicks are like this big. They look tiny on the camera, you know. You're looking at, okay, the eagles are big and the babies are little, but really the babies are big. Even when they're babies, they haven't even, you know, fledged, you know, grown their adult feathers yet, but they're big. Anyway, so they rescued this baby, and they took it to the wildlife rehab or whatever, and it had, like, you know, a wound there from where it had been poked with a stick, and so they gave it antibiotics and treated the wound, and they stuffed it, his crop full of fish or whatever, to give him plenty of food. And they were a little concerned because they wanted to keep an eye on the parent eagles to see if they would stick around. And they were in the area. They were like in the trees nearby or whatever. But so they put the baby back in the nest, and they put little pieces of fish or something all around the edge of the nest to try to entice the parents back into the nest. And they were saying that the food in the eaglets' crop was enough to last like 2 days or something like that. And so they said if the parents do not come back and the baby eagle is basically starving to death or whatever, that they would shut the camera off. I think that camera is not on at night. It's solar powered, and so when the sun goes down, the camera goes down. In Decorah, it's on 24 hours a day. But anyway, so for this one, they were like, fingers crossed that the mother eagle was going to come back and take care of this, or that the parent eagles would come back and take care of the baby. And, it was, sort of, they were like watching, and the parent eagles were in the area, but not returning to the nest. And everybody was like, oh no, this poor baby, they're going to have to turn the camera off and the baby's going to die, and it's so sad. And then at literally the last minute, like with an hour to go before they were going to make the decision, the mother eagle flew back at the nest and started taking care of the baby again, and all this stuff. I was like, oh my God, and it's always very touch and go because you just never know. Like in Decorah one year, there were 3 babies that were born, and they had fledged and they were starting to learn to fly and stuff like that. And then at one point, like one of them got electrocuted, another one got I don't know if 2 of the 3 I think were killed or whatever. But so it's all it's real life. It's not like the zoo or anything like that. These are eagles out in the wild, and so things happen to them. So it's all it's kind of like, you want good things to happen, but it could be heartbreaking, to see what happened or what becomes of them or whatever. But I just remember that eaglet in wherever it was, Minnesota, Missouri, whatever, that, that you just want, a good outcome. So, I don't watch it so much now, but that I was just thinking about that lately, that maybe I want to get back into watching them again. Just a reminder about those eagles, the situation. So if you have, look around on the internet. The Raptor Resource Project is one of the Eagle Nest Cam organizations, and they also have nest cams for like some falcons, I think, and other birds like that, raptors. That they have nest cams here and there in different areas. I remember there was a nest cam for Fort St. Vrain, I think, Colorado, and things like that. So there's lots of. I think the one with Jackie and Shadow, those 2 eagles, I think might be a different organization than the Raptor Resource Project, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so so those nest cams are out there, and they're really interesting to watch the eagles, and taking care of their eaglets and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it's kind of fun. Just FYI, that's just a programming note for those of you who are interested. Anyway, so hopefully, like I said, the Nashville stuff will come in the next few days, in the next week or so. I don't know again about the one pattern that I'm missing from the attic, when that's coming in. But so yeah, fun stuff. Nashville, goings on, and I'm expecting more. That's kind of exciting. And then the new WIPGO numbers will be in a few days, and we'll go from there. And so I'm going to keep working on the Woodpecker, I think, and try to maybe finish the Nicholas and the Snow Angel. There's actually kind of more stitching on the Snow Angel than I thought, because that word hope, it's a pretty big word on the pattern, and so there's kind of a lot of that left, but we'll see. So I will see you then next week, and hopefully I'll have, you know, my Nashville stuff and all of that, and certainly at least I'll have the new WIPGO numbers by next week. So I will see you all next time, and until then, thanks for watching. Bye.